so here we are, and thank you for coming here to RioCan. Those of you who are downtown, I know it can be schlep, but there is a suburb. People have told me that it's quite easy to get back and forth. So I'm going to speak hopefully for just a few minutes. I'll tell you a little about me, about RioCan, and why philanthropy runs through everything that we do. So first of all, Fran and I, in some ways, are almost representative of a little bit of post-war Jewish history. All of our parents, my parents, Fran's parents, were Holocaust survivors, came through the war and then started building new lives. I was born in actually a displaced persons camp in Germany, a long time ago to you people, 47, but I was after the war, and called Bergen-Belsen. And Fran was actually born in Cyprus, in a British internment camp. Her family was on their way to Israel, and unlike the people in the boat, the Exodus, they didn't make it. They were captured, and then they went to Israel after Israel was established, or maybe just before. I think Golda Meir actually came and brought the people in that camp from Cyprus to Israel. So, in our own little way, it's an interesting segment of the post-war Jewish history. We all ended up here in Toronto, and our parents built a life. And here we are. I don't know. Many years later, we came in 1949, so what, 62 years later, which will tell you about how old I was when I got here, about 2. So that's where I come from. Frank comes from too. Where I come from professionally is I'm a lawyer by profession, as I'm sure many or some of you are. I know somebody here from Fraser Milner. When I graduated, some of you, recent Toronto history is interesting. Some of you may not know this, but I graduated from law school in 1970. And probably long before many of you were born, certainly before Jonathan. And in 1970, the big white shoe firms didn't hire Jews. It's quite interesting. Hard to believe 40 years ago that was the case here in Toronto, where today Jews are everywhere. And but that was the case, and in fact, one of the guys I went to school with was the first Jewish guy hired by McCarthy's, where I know there's tons of them today. In 1973, it was their first Jew. Davies, it's through and through. So I ended up with a firm called Fogler-Rubinoff. Basically, what young Jewish guys did then was either go to one of the Jewish firms or hang up your shingle somewhere. I mean, it's, again, very different from today, I think, in so many ways. So I was at Fogler-Rubinoff. I was lawyer number 8 at Fogler-Rubinoff, and when I left, I practiced law for 15 years. Decided I was about to turn 40, and if I kept doing this, I'd be doing this the rest of my life, and that would be maybe not, wouldn't be enough. So I left in 1986 and joined a company, one of my clients, called Council Corporation. I started at the bottom, president of Council Property Corporation, and ran the real estate affairs of Council. And I didn't know that I'd be given 2 good years. And then towards the end of 1989, the real estate world and much of the economic world started to fall apart, and it fell apart pretty dramatically and pretty quickly. And we ended up over the course of 90 and 91 basically selling everything. We survived, but barely. And there was this one little orphan called Council Trust Real Estate Mutual Fund, which was exactly what it was. It was a mutual fund that invested in real estate. Sun Life, who bought Council Trust Company, didn't want the real estate mutual fund because they actually saw a flaw, which was very obvious once they pointed it out. How do you give people 30-day redemption rights on an illiquid asset? They were right.